bei der PDC mit dabei ist und der trägt seinen Spitznamen, weil er in der TV-Show X-Factor mal ganz schön gut unterwegs war. Ladies and Gentlemen, the X-Factor Andy Boulton!
Everybody was moving, grooving.
Andy Boulton muss ran gegen die aktuelle Nummer 45 der Welt. Ein Mann, der eines der legendärsten WM-Finals gespielt hat. 2004 verlor er denkbar knapp dieses WM-Finale gegen Phil Taylor. 2011 holte er sich seinen Major-Sieg bei den Players Championship Finals. Die Rede ist von The Artist Kevin Painter.
Well, Chris Dobie has just kept his hopes alive of making the World Championship at Alexandra Palace at the end of the year. Kevin Painter is looking to do the same here. At the moment, he's going to be there. If it was held tomorrow, Kevin Painter will be at Ali Pali. But last year, he only got in by the back door because Kyle Anderson wasn't allowed in the country. And Kevin was brought into the tournament. Now, Christoph has won today. Nathan Aspinall has won today. Both of those two men have Painter in their sights for a spot at Ali Pali. And the artist is desperately in need of a victory here against X-Factor Andy Boulton to just try and ease any worries he may have. As for the European Championship, well, Painter's got to go on and make the final of it. So, look, let's not worry about that. The World Championship is where it's at for the artist, a former world finalist, of course. I'm Dan Dawson, Paul Nicholson alongside me for this one.
Game on!
Yeah, you mentioned that Kevin was rather fortuitous last year with Kyle not making it.
How's your luck? Pretty good.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
140.
There were a couple of other things that happened where you got a few more exhibitions as well. There's something else that happened which we won't go into, but
140.
Yeah, as far as tonight's concerned, it hasn't really gone Kevin's way because Chris Dobie's won. Chris Quantock is now out of the equation.
Yep.
But Keegan Brown won today as well. So they have done their cause no harm whatsoever. But his biggest worry now does he have to get over Andy Boulton, really? But he's got to rely on Ratajski losing, and that is something that doesn't happen very often at the minute.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's not just a couple of players behind him who have won, but other players just in front of him have won. And that means that he's got to do more
43
to make, to put more distance between him and that cutoff point. Now, the very, very impressive Steve Lennon in his debut season looks like he's in for the Worlds 60 at the minute. But Painter, with a win here, could leapfrog him, is my understanding. So that would be another person to put between himself and that last cutoff point. So, look, there are so many permutations.
And you require 103.
All Kevin can do is try and win this game, and leaving yourself 168 is not a good way to go about it, particularly when on 306 as well.
62.
He started on 20s, which doesn't help your cause.
Yeah, take all the permutations away. Make things really simple.
80.
Beat Andy Boulton.
And you require
That's your job, Kevin. Andy with 41 left. Does like double 16, Andy. And hits the 9. That's not a bad guide, you know.
25.
Can't believe he's missed that.
Kevin, you
It's a
require
really
88.
good guide, didn't it?
Absolutely strangled that double 16 with those two darts. Kevin can steal. That's a peach of a first dart. Double 14.
Yeah, shot
That's
the
a
first
lovely
leg.
finish.
Kevin Painter. Second leg, it's Kevin to throw first.
Both guys here, you may say they haven't had their best seasons. However, they have won titles. Earlier in the year, back in January, Kevin was travelling around
85.
the south of England, just getting some real match practice. He won in Eastbourne, not far from where I live. Big tournament, used to be a PDC ranked event. He won that tournament. And
58.
oh, I thought this is a good boost for him. He'll have a good season. It hasn't panned out that way. Fast forward about 7 months. Andy Boulton, Granite City Open
55.
singles champion. Another big tournament.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Painter, you know, a big chunk of him being where he is in qualification stakes for Ali Pali is that he did have a run to a final on the Pro Tour earlier this year, which was his first final in ages. I mean, it's still there, the old artist stuff.
100.
And he still believes that he can go and do it, and he can go and do big things. And he always refers to himself as he's a stage player. You know, the leisure centre darts.
100.
That's not what Kevin's about. He wants to be up there quite literally strutting his stuff on big stages. But I wanted to ask you, Paul, because you've been in this position. You've just qualified for the Players' Championship finals.
55.
We've just seen, there's Nathan Aspinall there, Painter's manager, Chris Top. Now, we've just seen Chris Dobie come through an important game as Andy Boulton fills it up for the first 180. Come through an important game. Chris Dobie was in line to make his match play debut earlier this year and just missed out in the final weekend of qualifying. How tough is it coming 71. to these weekends,
and he
knowing,
63.
and we'll pick this up at the end of this leg, knowing that you have to win or you're in danger or you're right in the fringes? Oh, my word. Well, OK. 27 off. It's not the end of the world, is it?
27 off leaves 36 in my mathematics. This will be some shot. I knew that was going in. I absolutely knew it. And all the lads down there thinking that is some shot. It was always going to go in. As soon as that double nine went in, you just thought, right, speech bubble. Kevin Painter.
How is your luck?
There you go.
Or words to that effect.
But going back to what you were just saying, Dan, about rebounding, it's hard. I've been on both sides of the coin. I missed out on defending my Players' Championship final by 1 spot.
Oh, 100 maximum for Painter.
The thorn in my career, Wesley Newton, cost me that one. But then again, I was on the other side of it with the World Match Play once.
49.
I was eliminated from the Players' Championship event in Las Vegas. It was the last cut-off, and it came down to one match where Steve Evans was playing Gary Anderson. Gary Anderson needed to be beaten by Steve Evans. Otherwise, I wasn't going to Blackpool. Steve Evans won that, and I went to Blackpool by about 100 quid.
140.
These are the fine margins. You play month in, month out, tournament after tournament, and it can come down to 100 quid here, 50 quid there, 200 quid here. And
85.
The players that are on the wrong side of it go, oh, well, it's, you know, I've been done there. It's like being done by a last-minute goal in the footy. But at the end of a season, you know, the opportunities have been there for you. And those games which you've lost 6-5, where you've missed 4 match starts or whatever, they're the ones that come back and haunt you, I'd imagine.
That's correct. And you've got to have the ability to forget and move on. Chris Dobie has done that. He's had turmoil this season, but
97.
He's gathered himself.
And he requires 72.
And he's got light at the end of his tunnel. He's playing well now. What Kevin has to do is just concentrate on winning the match in front of him. Double 18 for Andy Boulton.
Game shot.
That's a classy finish.
Andy Boulton.
And after losing the first leg, he's rebounded himself very well.
Yeah, well, another double 18 finish for Andy Boulton. This one a little bit more standard than the one in the second leg. But he won't care. Andy Boulton, I mean, he made a semi-final on the Pro Tour earlier this year in Milton Keynes as well. And he took out some big names along the way. He's one of those players that you can't underestimate. He's always going to be annoying. He'll find ways of winning legs. He'll chip away at you. He may not be doing anything spectacular. And look, I've seen Andy Boulton miss a dart for a 9-darter on a Euro Tour stage. And
in the same match where his opponent missed one as well.
Yeah, Chizzy, I think, wasn't it?
It was.
Incredible stuff.
100.
And this is pretty good as well from Boulton, his second 180. But it's those scrappy games where Andy Boulton just seems to be an absolute black belt ninja of a man at just finding ways to win. Nothing scrappy about this leg, though, is it?
He's just battle-hardened,
Yeah.
isn't he?
140.
When I look at Andy Boulton as a player, that's what I see. Someone who's been through a lot of great matches, a lot of tight ones, and
100.
he just knows how to scrap.
41.
I'm not sure there's anything that could happen on a dartboard that would surprise Andy Boulton, apart from that double 9, double 18 finish he took out earlier on.
Well, 16
Okay,
will
shot
give
on the
him
fourth
a
leg.
3-1
Andy
lead.
Boulton.
Doesn't
Mid-legged
give
Andy to throw first.
Painter the opportunity to take that
Game on.
1-1-6 out. You mentioned Kevin's run to a final earlier this year. He was way behind against Kyle Anderson in the final. But what I admired, and I actually said this to Kevin the next morning, I didn't say
92.
well done for getting to the final. I think that sometimes can be construed as a little condescending. I said to him, I love the way you battled when you were way behind. You won 2 or 3 legs off the belt just to show Kyle Anderson that he wasn't going to go away. And I really admire that about Kevin, because in the past, sometimes he looks at the outside influences of the game a little too much instead of focusing on his brilliance. But Andy Boulton has brought a very tricky match tonight.
125.
Andy Boulton right now has hit 3 180s and is averaging 102. This is more than just the gritty and determined, wily old
99.
fox Andy Boulton. This is Andy Boulton turning it on here in Göttingen.
He's a spoiler, isn't he, Andy Boulton?
Normally you would
95.
say that, wouldn't
Andy
you?
requires
This is not a
130.
spoiler's performance. This is a dominator's performance. This is very, very good from Andy Boulton. Having gone 1-0 down, finds a way to win a leg, then puts in a solid one. Doesn't allow his opponent back to the board once he's had a
44.
go at a finish, and then it's a 12-darter to break, and now he's left himself 86. And Painter will not like that dart.
I don't think Andy Boulton wants to
125.
genuinely make
And he
Kevin
required
Painter miserable.
86.
But at the same time, with this performance, he's making Kevin Painter very miserable.
He's also making Kevin Painter very nervous, I would imagine. Bullseye for 4-1.
Game shot on the 5th leg. Andy Boulton.
My.
6th leg is Kevin to throw first.
There's a swagger about the man
Game on.
with all the X's. And a picture tells a million stories right there.
Like, you know exactly what is going through Kevin's mind there. He knows what Andy Boulton's about. He knows that he's got a tough game in front of him, but he's probably not thinking Andy Boulton's going to go up there and put in a ton average against him. He thinks he's going to put in a solid display, and Kevin thinks, well, as long as I play well, I'm in with a good chance of winning. But right now, Andy Boulton is just taking it completely out of Painter's hands.
Good first dart from Kevin.
85.
And he'll be very upset with the second dart. Now, when Kevin puts his first dart in, I know there's a lot of shoulder movement and a bit of a swing in the throw.
100.
But the timing of Painter over the years, that's one of the best things about his throw. Everything clicks at the same time.
60.
I've got to say, earlier this season in Milton Keynes, I saw him playing with 2 different sets of darts, and he couldn't make his mind up which one to use. And it's a horrible place to be in. You see players tinkering around
60.
like Peter Wright and Van Barneveld, but Kevin has made no mistakes with his equipment over the years. And when you've got 2 sets of darts in front of you,
60.
and you don't know what to use, that is not a good place to actually go and try and win matches against world-class players. You've got to make those decisions before you get to a tournament, I feel.
140.
Well, Boulton down to a finish on the Painter throw. He would love a 180. A ton 40 even.
140.
Yeah, good stuff.
And he
Raising the
required
eyebrows.
141.
Maybe Painter can get back a bit of the old swagger. However, it's dependent on Boulton not taking out the 141, which is not going to happen. So Painter just a nod at the back of the stage there.
65.
Earns himself this
Kevin, you require
opportunity. He has to
56.
take it. Has to.
Doesn't waste any time getting to the
Game
hockey.
shot on the 6th leg.
Doesn't waste
Kevin
any time
Painter.
hitting tops.
7th
Very,
leg is
very
Andy
good
to throw
indeed.
first. Game on.
2 legs that Kevin has won have both been in 17 darts. 1 hold, 1 break of throw. Problem has been the 4 legs in between.
100.
Yeah, well, 2 out of 2 on the doubles for the artist. But that 4-leg spell from Andy Boulton, the combination of some
78.
decent scoring and some pretty good finishing, have denied him any opportunities in that middle section of the game.
137.
Will there be a twist in the tail in this match?
85.
Just get the feeling that Kevin Painter is just hanging on to that tail right now with everything he can muster. Because Andy's just playing
45.
a tiny bit better, somewhat a lot better in the 4 legs that he won.
Well, you've been in this situation where you're trying
98.
to qualify for something. In these games, you're 4-2 down. You know you're going to have to start playing well, but are you actually consciously thinking, you're thinking, if I lose this game, I'm not going to, I've got a chance of being knocked out of this tournament? Does that come into your mind? Even if you're trying to push it to the back of your thoughts, can you stop it from coming to the forefront of your mind?
Absolutely not. If you can lose your thoughts
95.
completely and just
and
play,
120.
you're a better thinker than me. I've always been a thinker, though, and I think Kevin is very much in the same ilk as me. Andy Boulton needs 60. If you can
45.
forget and just play,
Kevin, you require
that's half the battle.
145.
It's so much easier to play when you don't have to win to get into something. You just want to win because you want to win the tournament, you want to win the match. That's why everything's so juicy at this time of the season. That's why you'll see more mistakes.
Well, it feels like every game today we've had
85.
something riding on it. But Kevin Painter may have been spared by Andy Boulton because that 1 lax dart, well, it looks like it might cost him, but he does get 2 darts at the double. That is nowhere near. And that is such an Andy Boulton dart, isn't it? He gives you a sniff, you think you're in, and then suddenly last dart, bang, gone. 5-2, Painter in danger.
If you're Andy Boulton, you'd much rather miss it by that much than have it too close.
He's not blocked any of the bed, I suppose that's, and it was so wide a miss, it's barely even in his eye line.
Absolutely right. We saw with the double 16s earlier on. 1 on the outside, 1 on the inside. It may have been too close for him to hit it. But that double 12 was so far away that he's got an open bed and he can attack it. Exactly what he did, and he executed it brilliantly.
Well, there is always hope.
140.
And there will still be hope for Kevin Painter that he can come back and turn this game around. And even if he is beaten, there is still hope for Kevin Painter that he has done enough,
33.
just enough, over the course of the season to secure his return to Alexandra Palace. However, it is hope. It may be taken out of his hands.
I think what he needs to do is go to the German supermarket and find a finger of fudge, because it might just be enough to give himself a treat. Because right now it looks like Andy Boulton may be too strong. He's got all the cards, but Painter can take this leg at a canter and then attack again.
62.
And he misses a double for the first time.
Well, he does. He'll have more at it. And Andy Boulton, I mean, 6 legs into this game, he was averaging 100. It has dipped, and the averages of, I mean,
99.
not flip-flop. Painter's in the lead. It's only a narrow lead. But he pins, chops, and it's 5-3.
9th leg is Andy to throw first. Game on.
How many times has Kevin Painter won a best-of-5 match 3-0 in his career? Many, many times. For himself, for his country, for his club. And maybe he just needs some more aggression. Maybe we should have told him that Ipswich Town was burgled the other day. Maybe that'll get his juices flowing.
Well, he may have won many, many best-of-5 games 3-0 in the past, but he can't have had many of them with as much potentially riding on it. More than 10 grand just for making the World Championship first round. And obviously that's ranking money as well.
125.
Not that long ago, to get that kind of money in a World Championship, you had to make the last 16. That's where darts is going now. Someone
97.
asked me earlier, yesterday, with the retirement of Phil Taylor coming up, will that bring a lot of people out the woodwork? I said absolutely
60.
not, because they're coming
And
out
you
of the
require
woodwork
164.
for the cash.
Yeah.
It's not just trophies that are on the line in tournaments, it's livelihoods. And Andy Boulton
100.
is doing everything right.
4 visits to the board. 437 scored. for Andy Boulton.
140.
64 stand between him and a place in the second round to face the World Grand Prix champion Darryl Gurney and leave Painter clinging on, hoping.
32.
Well,
You require
a
76.
gutsy 140 in the last visit has given him this opportunity. This is world class from Kevin Painter.
Game
That is
shot on the
incredible.
ninth leg.
When
Kevin
he needed it the
Painter.
most. 216
Kevin to
points
throw
and 5
first.
darts.
Game on.
Don't ever question whether Kevin Painter is world class, because those 5 darts were.
He needed them, he got them. And look at this.
140.
Andy Boulton has missed 1 match dart. 13 darter, 14 darter. His 2 best legs of the match, Kevin Painter. And they've come when he's been on the brink. Not only on the brink of an exit from this
41.
tournament, but potentially on the brink of being knocked out of the World Championship. 95 average. It's been pretty solid stuff from Painter.
140.
You can see Bolton's has slid down from the 100 to 94.
It's been a good game. Very enjoyable. And when you stick the permutations in the melting pot,
92.
it just makes it a better game. I, for one, am licking my chops to see how this one's going to end, because Painter is taking it to Boulton, and all of a sudden,
55.
he could be the favourite now.
Well,
But he will have to break him in the last leg if he gets this one.
he is going to break him, but in such an important game,
94.
to be 80% on your doubles, I mean, it is astonishing. That takes bottle. I'm not sure anybody's ever questioned Kevin Painter's bottle.
100. Kevin, you require
But
134.
he is underlining just how much of it he's got.
What he would give for a 94 right now.
58.
That's going to have to
And you
do.
require
But
146.
76 is a friendly number, something that he's already hit in this match. Will he be back? Yes, he will. Look at Painter in the background.
60.
The man
Kevin, you require
who's in his
76.
40s with the 25-year-old haircut has got double 8 again. Oh,
Shot on
he's
the
done it
10th leg.
again.
Kevin Painter.
The fight,
the five
the
legs,
grit,
and in
the
the throw first.
determination, it's
Game on.
all there. Can he get one more?
The former world finalist was on the brink, 5-2 down. He has already survived 1 match dart. He is finishing in an absolutely extraordinary manner,
140.
Kevin Painter.
The shake of the head when Andy Boulton compacts his darts into a 140.
60.
Just question whether he thinks he can do this.
Well, Andy,
Andy
Boulton
Boulton,
may
wow.
not give him a chance. He may not give him a chance. Andy Boulton had an
100.
inspired first few legs. It looked like he was going to dominate this game, but Painter, by sheer force of will, has dragged himself back into it, and he's in
58.
one of those gritty battles that Boulton seems to specialise in.
The trebles have dried up for the artist in this leg.
42.
But that is music to the ears. Painter needs big trebles now. The clock is ticking.
60.
He's not getting them. He didn't leave anything behind there. 3 really hard thrown darts. And he's biting his flights. We can feel the tension. with Boulton. Brilliant.
137.
It's been a very, very impressive last leg from Andy Boulton. Once again, he leaves himself a 2-dart checkout after 4 visits to the board. And there's a treble for Painter.
95.
There's another one, but
And
not the one he wanted.
82.
He has battled, he has scrapped, he has tried to come from behind in this one, but Andy Boulton looking to condemn Kevin Painter to a first-round exit.
42.
Misses another match dart.
Painter needs snookers. And he's not going to give him the leg because of 140.
140.
And now he's got to
Andy
pray
requires 40.
that Andy misses 3 darts at the double.
There's one missed. There's another. And
30.
there's the third. This is the chance that Painter had
88.
desperately craved.
He's already hit an 88 check out in this match, Kevin Painter, and it was in the very first leg of the match. Can you do it again? Single 18, don't gamble. The little bit of red in the middle.
63. And he
Kevin
requires 10.
Painter, in the most unlikely of circumstances, had a dart to win this match and ease his fears of being knocked out of the qualifying spots for the Worlds. Andy Boulton, can he finally snuff out the artist's hopes? No, he can't!
Well, Kevin,
You
it's
require
time
25.
to take your last sip of that water on stage. It's time for a big deep breath. Go through the routine. Hit a single 17, it's double 11. This might work in your favor. Double 11. Splits
14.
it. 3 missed
And he
match
requires
darts from
5.
Painter. So edgy, so nervous. What a game.
Boulton. Madhouse.
Game
Oh,
shot.
it's there! Kevin
Andy
Painter!
Boulton.
He battled and he scrapped and he got himself the chance that he so desperately wanted, but he could not take it. And Andy Boulton inches over the line. X Factor has somehow come away with that victory. It looks simple to start, impossible by the end of it. But double one condemns Painter to an early exit here at the Happy Bet European Darts Trophy, and it may well knock him out of the World Championship as well. Boulton goes through to face Gurney. We've got one more match for you tonight, and it's an all-Dutch affair as Jan Dekker takes on Christian Kist. Here is X Factor. What do you say about that?
Then he came back and, you know, just is it one of them last legs? You get them now and again. You know, you both want to win, and I was a lucky one, yeah.
Yeah, Daryl Gurney's the next one. He's playing the dart of his life right now, winning the World Grand Prix.
Yeah, that was a good play. He's climbed the rankings. He's got to where he is because of he's very dedicated, and yeah. So, but you know, tomorrow's another day, and I've not been well at all today. So the preparation's been a bit different, and yeah, it's good after the day I've had to come up and clinch a win, really.
Cool. See you tomorrow again. Thank you, Andy. Andy Boulton. Er sagt gegen Daryl Gurney natürlich eine harte Nuss. Der hat sich in der Weltrangliste weit nach oben gespielt.